Welcome to the Disc Golf Show, guys. My name is Nick, and this is episode 14 of the 2026 season. This show is brought to you in part by our sponsors, the first being our local pro shop, Final Nine Sports. Big shout out to them. Always support local if you're in the Northern California, Sacramento area. They have two locations, one in Orangevale and one in Rocklin. If you are unable to find what you're looking for at your local pro shop, we do have a remedy for that, and that is Disc Golf Deals USA. If you go to discgolfdealsusa.com/discgolfshow, you can save 10% off of your entire order. Some exclusions do apply, usually new mold releases, such things like that. But bags, baskets, big ticket items, or large orders, save that money. We do like to always start off on good news, or at least in this part, funny news. This last week was April Fool's, and in the disc golf community, there's several businesses that like to put out funny, quirky things. We're just going to run through a couple of those. First being Discraft. I really like this one. The Zone POS. That one was genius. Whoever marketed that, great job. I would have loved to have got my hands on one of those stamped POS. That's hilarious. Obviously, the Zone has the SS, the OS, but the Discraft Zone POS. They're out there, so maybe you got your hands on one, let me know. Up next was Squatch. Squatch actually did a teaser for their April Fool's joke, and it was a teaser with Calvin, Ezra, and Gannon, and their custom bags that were going to be announced, and they posted a 90s Lisa Frank style bags. These were very, very unique and interesting, very brightly colored, strange patterns, like cheetah print or jaguar print or whatever, with a lot of furry and fuzzy areas on the bags. As much as this was a joke, though, many people were in those comments saying, I would snag one of those because, disc golfers have a lot of personality, and it's a fun idea. It's very unique. So if you didn't check that out, go check it out on their social media. And then last that I want to note here is Maple Hill. Maple Hill has been known for putting in different obstacles to make their course a little tougher each year in some way or another. And one of the most recent was the Triple Mando. I believe it was on hole 1. I believe. It's where Squirrel Gate happened. Maybe it wasn't hole 1. Either way, they added a graphic of them adding that Triple Mando to the green of hole 18, which it would be insane. But I thought that was really funny. We shared it via our social media as well. And yeah, I like those things. When April Fool's comes around, it's always neat to see what these businesses come up with and throw out there. So shout out to those ones that I notated. Moving on, we do have an update to the PDGA World Rankings, and that is that Silva overtook Kristin for first place. So slightly, but it finally happened. So shout out to Silva Saarinen. And then as well for the MPO division, Gannon has a very commanding lead there for average points for event right now. But obviously, we are early in the season. That can definitely change. I love this idea that PDGA has implemented this year, and many manufacturers have joined it. It's their disc manufacturer program. This next highlighted manufacturer is Innova. So with this program, if you are a PDGA member, you get a discount at these manufacturers' websites. And this one being, again, for Innova. They have a 15% off code, PDGA15. Again, you have to be a PDGA member, but that is at their discgolfunited.com website. And then also on top of that, Innova has announced that they're donating a portion of the proceeds to Throw Pink, which is a great cause. So shout out to them. I love the fact that PDGA is finally doing something like this. I think Dynamic Discs is on there. I think Latitude's on there. Of course, throughout the year, there's probably going to be many more added to that, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Update on Cadence Burge. She did have to withdraw that last event at Queen City Classic. She didn't end up playing the final round, even though she was kind of in the hunt. It is the first event that she actually has pulled out or DNF'd on, but due to injury. And we hope she recovers from this quickly, quickly enough, hopefully, to be at Champions Cup. She is hoping to compete in that, but the update was a partially torn labrum in her hip and a disc bulge in her back. So again, like we said, we hope quick, smooth recovery from that. But either way, whether she plays or not, she will be at the Champions Cup event to support the rest of the competitors and to be there for fans. So if you're there, go say hi. If she's competing, follow and cheer her on. We did have an update for well, not necessarily an update, but the PDGA does post their suspensions and probations and things like that. And the most recent, as of April 2nd, with an end to be determined, there's a temporary suspension for Eric Oakley. Again, we've talked about Eric several times over the past decade. He's a great human being. Very positive in general, but sometimes I believe he does let his emotions get to him in his mental space, so between his ears. And I hope this isn't something that keeps him out. We would like to see him more and more, whether it is on the course or maybe involved in disc golf in other ways. We are fans of him, so we do hope the best for him. An announcement from PDGA for the Women's Global event. This is great to hear. There are already over 100 events worldwide for the Women's Global event. Every year, obviously, this happens. And currently, they have over 1,200 women and girls signed up for those 100 events. So that is awesome, an average of 120 per event or so. Some of the countries currently, USA obviously, we have Australia, Canada, Colombia, Denmark, Iceland, Italy, Mexico, New Zealand, Poland, Portugal, Sweden, Switzerland, Uganda, and the United Kingdom. So if you're looking to compete in an event, we will have the link down below. It is pdga.com/WGE. But if you are in another country that has disc golf and there's it wasn't listed on the list that I just ran through, try to set one up, add to the count. Because the bigger this gets, the better it is for everybody. Obviously, Women's Global Event is a massive undertaking, and big shout out to PDGA for continuing to put that on every year. IDGC, the International Disc Golf Course, is almost back open, guys. It's set to open in fall of this year, 2026. Also, the Champions Cup is going to be returning there in 2028, and the new design is by none other than Paul Macbeth. So big shout out, finally, that course, after the damage that it sustained via the storms, it is almost back open. That is a landmark course for disc golf, and I did want to give shout outs to the work put in by Nathaniel Samsel and Sid Olcott. So they have put in a ton of hours and work into that course, getting it back up to where it's functional. And we hope to see more larger events. Obviously, like I said, stay tuned for 2028. Champions Cup will be at IDGC currently. An update to Champions Landing, which is the home course of the Dynamic Discs Open, or previously known as Glass Blown Open. And it's kind of gone back and forth between those two things. Emporia, Kansas. They have done some announcements stating that there's a ton of work being done at this course. Currently, it is for this year. It is part of the DGPT Jomez series for 2026, but they are working to get it back in, hopefully, to the main tour. But of note, during all this work, they have announced that they are going to be putting in and installing the largest, or the world's largest, disc golf basket. So we've seen these overseas. We've seen that massive basket. I think it's I'm going to be wrong here, PCS or All Open or something like that. One of those events overseas, they have that massive basket. Well, they're going to try to outdo that. So they have announced that they are going to be installing the world's largest disc golf basket, which is super awesome. Love those fun ideas that can kind of make it a destination. Obviously, it's already a destination course, and city for disc golf, but one more thing to add to it. Last but not least, shout out to Waveform Podcast. This is a podcast put on by the team with Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD. The most recent episode 344, it's something such as favorite apps of all time episode. It was just uploaded and it is their podcast. So just a shout out to UDisc by Andrew. UDisc made his _1 out of top 5 because each of the people on the podcast did their top 5. Andrew made note that his #1 app is UDisc. So great to see UDisc get that highlight on kind of the mainstream. I mean, I consider that mainstream. MKBHD is a great follow, a great channel. And of course, all the team there, John O'Tan also. But yeah, there's a few disc golfers on that team. So shout out to them for including that. The link for that episode will be down below. This brings us to the question of the episode, guys. I'll just say, what courses have you checked off, if any, on your bucket list to play? I have several that I want to. Obviously, Santa Cruz de la Vega is a bucket list still for me. I mean, not still. I've played it, so that one is a great course to play. But other than that, what have you checked off, and what is still left? I'd say, give me your top 3 bucket list courses that you want to play. And then another side question, only because Anthem. I think it's Anthem Disc Golf is doing a lot of the media and teaser, pictures and little videos for Disc Golf Pro Tour to hype up the players, which is awesome. They're doing a great job. Shout out to them. But I don't know. Is anybody else getting tired of the big money moniker for Missy Gannon? I feel like Missy Gannon has enough talent and experience just to be Gannon. I don't know. Gannon Cannon. I don't know. But big money. For me, I think it's over. Anyways, before we move on, guys, to gear and equipment, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash, punch, whatever you want to call it. Like, share, notifications, do all the goods. I really do appreciate it. It goes a long way, and thank you so much. Moving on to gear and equipment, guys. This segment is brought to you by Disc Golf Deals USA. Again, go to discgolfdealsusa.com/discgolfshow. Save that 10% off of your entire order. Some exclusions do apply. But if you're doing big orders, that money adds up. That savings adds up. All right, we're going to touch back on last week's approved disc, the Mukava by Nice Discs. I did get some updated information on them. It is their first ever disc. Again, it ends up being an approach disc with flight numbers 4303. It is a 3D printed disc, and they are looking at around a $20 to $25 cost for those discs. Hopefully I can get a sample, and when I do, I will definitely share that with you guys. But again, the link to that will be down below as always. And then most recently, one more disc was approved yesterday, and that is for Elevation Disc Golf. If you don't know who they are, they have a very pliable, rubbery disc. It's not going to roll on you. It's just going to flop, bend and flop. But this disc being the Groundhog, it looks like a puddle top putter from the picture that was provided on PDGA. Again, link will be down below. Some recent and upcoming releases for you. Six-sided discs has a restock of the hexagons arriving in mid-April, so mid this month. The newest color that they have settled on is the Basalt, but they are going to have other colors, so stay tuned for that. And we will also share a release date for you when we do get that. Wysocki teased an understable Discraft disc for his lineup. So if you're a Wysocki fan, maybe it would be called Sticks. I'm just playing, guys. But yeah, stay tuned for that. He's got another disc coming up for his lineup. And then we have a couple, we're big fans of Touch Disc Golf. They have storage as well as display items for discs. But, we want to get the word out for all those other options that may be out there. And there's a couple display frames that have been recently announced. One was created by Matt Graham. If you don't know him, well, you should. He has the Airoframe, and the pre-order currently is live for this. It's a circular disc holder frame for all size discs, and it comes in black and white. It has an adjustable size to hold those different style discs, because we all know the underside of the disc does vary size-wise. But they have two styles, one to be mounted for by hanging on a nail, and the other to use those type of removable stick mounts. The two types are the Airoframe Air. It does not have a front cover to it, so it's just open. Normally it's going to cost $18.99, but the pre-order sale price is $13.99 currently. And then in addition to that, the Airoframe Shield. This does have a full cover on the front to better protect your disc that you have displayed. Normally that cost will be $27.99, but the sale price is $22.99. So $5 off on each of those. That's a pretty good deal. The website Airoframe, AIROframe.com. Again, that link will be down below. And then in addition to that one, we did recently talk about the new hexagon colors coming out. Well, Disc Golf Dyers Guild has announced the Disc Hive display case. It is a magnetic hexagonal display case. It is available in plastic or hardwood, so black, white, or customizing your colors, you'll be able to do so. It has optional engraving on it, so there will be an area if you do decide to choose that style cover where you could engrave stuff on there, maybe for awards, things like that. But that one normally priced at $38.95 will go on sale for $29.95. So I think I'm wondering if the hexagon disc would fit perfectly in this frame. I don't know. They should contact each other. Last but not least, the most important item of your disc golf equipment, your shoes. We always have a couple that we like to support, and those are companies that are involved in disc golf. First being Idio Sports. They have the Syncrasy and the Brawler. That is their low top and high top shoe. More of a zero style sole to it. And very lightweight, waterproof. Just keep getting better and better with each version. And they are constantly trying to improve that for disc golfers. It's a disc golfer shoe specific shoe. So go check them out. Idio, IDIOsports.com. And then Vessi. Vessi sponsors events and players as well, as does Idio, but it is a completely different style shoe, though it is waterproof, pretty lightweight. It has much more of a rake to the sole, so go check those out if you are interested, and let me know what you wear. Let me know down below what your preferred shoe is. That brings us to the upcoming events, guys. We have one, which is April 9th to 12th, this coming weekend. The 2026 PDGA Champions Cup presented by Vessi. Like I said, they sponsor. It's the first PDGA major of the year, and this is held in Lynchburg, Bedford County, Virginia. You know the area probably because of Foundation, one of their local courses. And it's the New London course. Yeah. All right, that brings us to mailbag. This is where we give you some products and videos to check out if you haven't already checked them out. The first being Hoof and Skull Coffee. So HOOFSKULL.com. Go check them out. They are veteran-owned, active duty run. They sent us a couple samples of their coffee. Big fan of coffee here. They have a few that we did announce last episode, but I did want to give a little bit of a review on them. I haven't tried their mushroom coffee/mushroom coffee yet, but I did try their dark roast, specialty grade 6-bean house espresso. That'll wake you up. Very good. It's got a strong finish on it, so if you like espresso, then I'd check that one out. But of the two, which I was surprised because I'm a very big espresso finish coffee fan. But out of the two, this other one was my favorite. So Doc's Blend is a medium roast, premium, extra caffeinated. Maybe it's the extra caffeinated that I like the most. But a great flavor, again, great finish on it. I love trying all types of coffee and companies that have coffee. And big shout out to, again, Hoof and Skull for sending us a couple to try out and share with you guys. So again, check them out, hoofskull.com. We have a few, again, usually we only have a couple items, but we've got a few here. The next being Rip Reader. It's an app available currently on Android. I think it's still in beta for Apple, but it is an app that actually gives you your speed of your throw by setting it up, laying it down face up from your phone, and it can detect the speed of your throw. So it's very interesting. I do want to check it out once it's available for Apple. And it also, due to the speed and the disc that you enter in, it estimates, giving you estimated distances. So, and you can confirm those by walking it off and checking out how close it was. From what I saw via the video, 10-foot maybe difference or so. From what it looked like. But yeah, again, these apps are only going to get better. Obviously, you have Tech Disc, which has a ton of stats for you, but these are app specific, to where you don't have to get any other equipment. And it looks like there's probably going to be, I feel like I saw another one that kind of teased the same type of idea. But yeah, Rip Reader if you are on Android. And then lastly, for products, Deadeye Solutions. I love this idea. I've had this idea for a long time. I just don't have the time actually to put into creating this. But for CTP flags, we know we always use those little flimsy flags with a plastic bag attached to it at events when you have CTPs for your club or anything like that. But this is a more reusable disc golf specific product that was created. And again, Deadeye Solutions has come out with this. Looks like a 3D printed item, which is amazing. They have a 2 for $10 deal, reusable CTP flags. It has a spot for a pencil that clips in, one of those little pencils. And then it has I believe it was a 3x5 card or something like that area where you can swap out the paper in there to track CTPs during your rounds. It is available in pink, orange, and what they call green yellow. But the only thing I would say, and I sent him this once I saw it, is we do know that CTPs, you're still going to have them even in some not so great weather. So if there's water around, you don't want to have to try to use a pencil on a wet piece of paper. I think integrating something involving weather protection on it would be great. But again, for your club use or anything like that is a great option. The link for that will be down below, guys. That brings us to the videos that we want to share with you. One I did want to mention was Cat Merch. Her personality shows in all her videos, in all her social media. It's great. I love her more and more every time she posts things. But I did want to make note of between her singing, which she has a great voice. If you haven't heard her, check it out. And this newest video, I'm just liking her more and more. She did a quick video about her changing the oil in her vehicle. And sometimes it's easy to go to an oil shop and have them do it for you. But having that type of knowledge, I've done it in the past, is beneficial, and it saves you a lot of money, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's her personality comes out in all these videos, and I just wanted to highlight it because I appreciate it, even though it was a small little clip. But go follow Cat Merch. And then last for video, we do have the coming out soon by Foundation Discs, the 2026 Disc Golf Creators Cup, sponsored by Dynamic Discs. This Creators Cup I would love, and I believe they just announced their applications for next year's event. because this one's already done. Obviously, they're going to start posting the videos for it. But I think this is a great idea, especially for content creators in the disc golf realm. Maybe one day I'll be able to travel out to Virginia and attend this if possible, if this channel grows more, which again, thank you to all of you who do watch. But the link to their YouTube channel, if you don't already follow, will be down below. That brings us to the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We do love to give you options, ways to save money. That first being Upper Park Disc Golf. If you are looking for a bag, go check them out. Use code DiscGolfShow. You can save some money there. As always, Disc Golf Deals USA, sponsor of the show. Big shout out to them. Go to discgolfdealsusa.com/discgolfshow. Save 10% off of your entire order. Looking for a basket, a bag, a cart, apparel, a large order of discs. That savings does add up, so go check them out. And then last but not least, thank you to our local pro shop, Final Nine Sports. If you are in Northern California, Sacramento area, they do have 2 locations, one in Orangevale and one in Rocklin. Always support local when you can. And if you have any suggestions for me, anything you want me to include in an upcoming episode, send me an email, discgolfshow@gmail.com. And then one last time, hit that subscribe, like, share, notifications, all the goods, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week.